Hello, today is Thursday, March 19th, 2026, and welcome to another episode of Comedy Talk, where we talk about the comedy business. You know, my observations, my perceptions. You're always free to comment, and anybody ever wants to come on, because this is also a podcast. I interview people because I believe in bringing the comedy community together. We could all help each other. And audience members too, because a lot of comics, were former audience members. They're still audience. They grew up loving comedy. They loved it so much that it became contagious. And they started doing comedy. But anyway, hanging around the comedy scene, I have to say that it's like kind of like Grand Central Station. It's like a central airport where people from all walks of life come to meet each other, and each there's like it's like divided up into, you can't really make one general blanket subject for all the people who come to a comedy open mic, because they all are little groups and everybody's doing their own thing, and we all meet together at the and in my opinion, most of the comedy scene are mics, open mics, and they're not really in comedy clubs. Yes, comedy clubs do have open mics and shows for newcomers who are just getting started, but really the bulk of the mics are off-site, are not in the comedy clubs. Okay, they're in bars, coffee houses, and that's where you meet people. That's where you network with people. That's where you make connections. And it's such a large, broad, diverse group of people that you're not going to rock with everybody. You have so many types of people who go there. You have the guys or girls who just like stay in there. They're totally focused with stand-up comedy. That's all they care about. And, they only talk to a certain small little group of people, and everybody else, you got to go up to them, and they're not going to come because that's how they roll. Then you got the people who just come for the fun, for social life. Then you got people who are actors, or then you have seasoned comics who already book comics, and they're coming there just to practice and work out for your set. Then you have podcasters who, like myself, who do interviews on the outside. And then you have musicians who bring their violins or their guitars and they mix it up. Then you have promoters, bookers who are just looking to go and scout comics. That's why it's such a broad, diverse, and don't be frustrated if you start going around to these mics and you don't feel like you're mixing. Maybe it's only the cliquish people who don't want to talk to you. Don't be frustrated. If you hang around and you go to enough mics, you're going to meet, you're going to meet your crowd. You're going to meet the people that you click with. Personally, I found, like in the beginning, I wasn't that way. I used to go just to get up and do my set. I didn't talk to anybody at the beginning of the mic because I wanted to get up and surprise everybody. And then after the mic, I always stuck around after the mic, but I didn't really talk to anybody. I didn't get to know anybody. And it's hard. It's hard to comment in comedies because not everybody's approachable. Not everybody's friendly. Some people are going to blow you off or snub you or act fake. And you just got to find your clique. And I found that by doing it, just by hanging out outside, hanging outside the bar with the smokers, that's where I make the most connections. And I'm not so much into stand-up comedy anymore. I do it, but I like to mix it up with my trumpet playing, and I'm actually more into interviewing people, and I'm actually more into doing my comedy on my own, on my right here on this YouTube channel, the shorts. If you see, there's tons of them. That's the pleasure I get. That's where I'm coming from. Then there are people who have their costumes, they have their wigs, they dress up as women, they dress up as a certain character. It might involve an instrument, it might involve somebody else. I'm saying that's how broad a community comedy is. And I just wanted to share that in this particular episode. I don't really have anything else to add. I talk when ideas come to me. I try not to be too scripted. If you look at some of my other videos, I was always reading of a script or a comedy set, and it looks like I was reading. I try try to speak my mind. It's always good to speak your mind when it's appropriate. And here is appropriate. Thank you, guys. Tonight, I'm going to an open mic. I'm going to play my trumpet. I'm going to make some jokes. And hopefully, maybe I'll get a sidewalk interview or two. And if I don't, who knows? Maybe I'll network. But I'm getting out there. You got to get out there and make those connections. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.